Art begins with an idea, a spark that ignites the imagination. This spark can come from anywhere: a beautiful sunset, a moving song, or even a simple leaf falling from a tree. My latest piece started with a memory of walking through a forest. The sunlight was filtering through the leaves and dappling the ground in a mosaic of light and shadow. I knew then that I wanted to capture this feeling of tranquility and awe in my art. The theme of this piece would be nature's delicate beauty. I wanted to evoke the emotions of peace and serenity that I felt while walking through the woods. I hoped that when people looked at my artwork, they would be transported back to that moment and feel a sense of calm and wonder. Everyone has their own unique experiences with nature, and I wanted my art to tap into those memories and emotions. With the inspiration in place, I started sketching out my ideas. This is always an exciting stage, as the artwork starts to take shape on paper. I experimented with different compositions, trying to find the perfect arrangement of elements to convey the feeling I was going for. I looked at other artists' work for inspiration, studying how they used light, shadow, and composition to create a mood. Reference images are crucial during this phase. I gathered photographs of forests, sunlight, and leaves, paying close attention to the way light played on the surfaces. These images served as a guide, helping me to accurately portray the details of my subject matter. I also experimented with different color palettes, making small swatches to see how different hues work together. For this piece, I chose to work with watercolor. Watercolor's fluidity and transparency felt like the perfect medium to capture the ethereal quality of light filtering through leaves. I started by laying down a light wash for the background, gradually building up layers of color and detail. Each brushstroke was a careful dance between water and pigment. I used a variety of techniques, from wet-on-wet blending to dry brushing, to create different textures and effects. As the painting progressed, I paid close attention to the balance of light and shadow, using them to create depth and dimension. I also worked on blending the colors seamlessly, creating a harmonious transition between the different elements. Section 4. Overcoming obstacles. Every artist faces challenges during the creation process, and this piece was no exception. One of the biggest hurdles was capturing the subtle variations of light within the forest. I initially struggled to create a sense of depth and luminosity in my painting. The light looked flat, and the forest felt more like a stage set than a real breathing environment. To overcome this, I experimented with different glazing techniques. I learned to apply thin, translucent layers of paint on top of each other, gradually building up the intensity of the light. This allowed me to create a more nuanced and realistic depiction of the way light filtered through the leaves. By adjusting the opacity and color of each layer, I could achieve the desired level of depth and brilliance. Section 5. The finishing flourish. With the main elements in place, it was time for the final touches. This is where the artwork truly comes to life. I added details like individual leaves on the forest floor and delicate branches reaching towards the light. These details, while small, added a sense of realism and intricacy to the piece. I also spent time refining the textures, using a dry brush technique to create the rough bark of the trees and the delicate veins of the leaves. The final touch was adding my signature to the painting, marking it as complete. Section 6. Sharing the joy. Seeing the finished artwork is always a moment of immense satisfaction. It represents hours of work, dedication, and a little bit of my heart poured onto the canvas. But the journey of an artwork doesn't end there. Art is meant to be shared, to evoke emotions and spark conversations. I encourage you to share your own artistic creations with the world. Don't be afraid of criticism or judgment. Embrace the opportunity to connect with others through your art. Every piece you create is a step forward on your artistic journey. Keep practicing, keep experimenting, and most importantly, keep creating.